Welcome to Growing Couples Podcast. My name is Arturo Paulino.
And I'm Tracy.
And today we're going to be doing the second episode of our first season by answering one question. Tracy, can you please read that question for us?
I would love to, if I can. Do you think marriage changes people or just brings out more of who they already are?
Okay. Well, what I've seen is going to sound like a cop-out, but what I've seen is both. There are certain traits they're what make us us. And then there is our personality, which is shaped by our environment, but also by our agency. So I know from my own experience, where we started is not where we are at currently. Now, I'm still me. There are things that have not changed, but that's what makes me me. But there are other things that have. Thank God for that. So I think it's both. There are things that make us who we are, but there are other things that either because of the environment and or our agency can most definitely change. What do you think?
Well, I was going to ask you a question. Do you think marriage should change people?
I think so. Because I think the idea of marriage is two people that do not need each other, but they want to be with the other person. And that dynamic of I do not need you, however, I do want to be with you, and I believe that the sum of ourselves is a bigger value than us individually. That dynamic brings out influence. By me seeking proximity to you, I am allowing you to influence me, and I hope that you would allow me to influence you. So yes, so I think marriage should influence, to answer your question, should change us, but it's through the mutual influence that we allow to be influenced by our partner.
I love that you use the word influence because I think that we do have a lot of couples who, one, expect when they come to couples counseling to be like, here, change my partner. This needs to change. You need to change this about them, or they want to change the other person.
Right.
And other people come in and they're terrified that they're going to have to change or give up who they are. And so I love that when you use the word influence is I get to influence you and you get to influence me. And I think there are times where I'm very open and receptive to your influence and other times where I'm not.
Right.
And definitely vice versa with that. We both wanted to honor God and we are Jesus followers. So I think that what's also helpful is then I can trust your influence more. Because I think then I trust that if you say something to me and you want to have an influence on me, it's not to abuse me, harm me, or to strip away who I am.
Right.
Like part of having it under this umbrella of that I believe that God created you how you are and that I can honor that and you honor who I am. I think I'm getting a little caught in the weeds, but you get it.
I get it. I understand.
I think that because if not, then we have people who will say, well, she doesn't take my influence. And in my head, I'm going, I wouldn't either. That's horrible. Like, run. Again, I don't say that to clients, just FYI, in case our counselor or our director is watching. But in my head, I'm like, that's not a good or healthy influence to take because just because you want to influence or change the other person doesn't mean it's for the positive or for the better. Because we can be short-sighted, selfish, or get lost. So that's why I think I have the freedom and the safety to receive your influence because it's within a bigger umbrella for me.
Right. One of the benefits of working at a Christian counseling center is that we also take into consideration the agency of God.
Yes.
The movement of God in the relationship.
Yeah.
So there's your will, there's my will and there's the will of God.
Yeah.
And his influence. And many times, God does for us what we cannot do for ourselves.
Yes.
So,
and hopefully God's influence then will allow that to be the greatest influence within our marriage.
right. And that's why there is a triangle thing in which there is a me, there is a you, but we also aim for a transcendental. We also aim for a higher point of reference.
Yeah.
Which in our case is absolutely God. So yes, I do believe change ought to be a part of marriages, and change comes from my own biology, my own chemistry, my own history, my genes, my environment, my decision making, my agency, but also how I allow myself to be influenced by God as well.
Yeah. Well, influence and good influence takes time. So it's an influence that is helpful and honoring and refining and towards a good thing. It's not a hammering, shameful, negative thing, right?
I think the point that I'm hearing you say is that you agree with me that marriage should be a place in which we influence each other and we change.
Can change.
However, if we're not careful, we could be influencing each other negatively.
Yes. Or allowing a negative influence under even the guise of a Christian relationship. I know I'm putting that in quotes because just because it's two Christians doesn't mean that it's a positive influence. So I think that, when there's safety, and so I think that it's not like, great, okay, so I'm married, so now I'm open to my my partner's influence. There's some scary stuff that I see happening with that. So I guess I want to have caution and discernment, and hopefully you're discussing things and it's not some crazy weird change.
Yeah.
But yeah, helpful.
Perfect. Tracy, do you think there's a takeaway for our listeners today?
Yeah, I think the takeaway would be a great question, and a follow-up question that people can take is, how do they think they have influenced their partner, and how do they think their partner has influenced them? And are they open to receive, and are they aware that they're influencing their partner?
Perfect.
Because then that will help us grow and have a growing couple.
Right.
All right.
Perfect. I think this is a great place to land.
Okay, great.
So thank you for tuning in for Growing Couples. Again, my name is Aruro Paulino.
Tracy.
And see you next time.